How y'all doing? My name is Ronald. I just want to share my testimony with you about how God has been good to me through my life and what he did for me from February 24th until now. I was on my bed, could not walk, could not answer the phone, was in racking with pain, got up, tried to walk, failed twice, but the God was there. He put me back up in the bed, put me in a deep sleep for the pain that I was going through. I was supposed to be going to work, couldn't make it to work. Didn't know it was my day to go back to work. That's how bad the infection was in my body. I laid there. When finally he woke me up, he had my co-workers coming through the door, calling my name because they couldn't get me by phone, and the phone was right there beside me and I couldn't hear it. But God knew that I needed relief from that pain, and he kept me, he covered me. He had his angels encamped around me. When they did finally come in, and they called out to me several times, I told them, I'm here, but I cannot walk. And they were so happy to know that I was still alive when I didn't even know how they got there, because I couldn't call for help myself. They toted me out of here in a sheet and got me to the hospital. When the ambulance took me to the hospital and the doctors diagnosed my issue, they said, your foot got to come off. They said, life or limb. I said, I choose life. I said, because the Bible say, if a limb offend thee, cut it off. So they started. The next day, emergency surgery, they took my foot. My vital signs got better. They said my kidneys came back. My white blood cell count came back up, and two more things was getting right. They said, we need to finish this amputation. They said, what you choosing? I said, I still choose life. I said, doctor, do what you got to do. I said, because God has all power in his hand, and he's shown me that he's there for me. They did that amputation to close that amputation out. After the surgery, and I got back to my room, I ate dinner with my supervisor that came and got me, that found me in the bed where I could do for myself. Just like nothing was wrong. I ain't had no pain. I was holding this leg up that you see now that I have a prosthetic on. Holding it up, twirling it around. They asked me, how you doing that? And you ain't in no pain. I said, nobody but God. I said, God showed himself to me to be real. God is real. You hear me? This is just a new chapter in my life. This wasn't going to stop it. He said, you're going to be better. God bless me. Not even 4 months, I got a prosthetic. 3 months and some change, I got a prosthetic. Them folks said I was healed enough. I got my prosthetic 2 days before my birthday. I said, look at Jesus. I said, God, no. Every time I went to the prosthetic doctor, they always say, got anything you want to ask me? I said, yeah, when I'm going to get my leg? Because I had a dream. God gave me a dream. You know how a lizard, his tail breaks off in the sign of trouble for him to escape getting killed or whatever, and it grows back. I had a dream that God grew this leg back and put a new foot on too. I saw this. I looked down and it was there. And I know God is able to do this. Understand me, ain't nothing too hard for God. God is the author of the impossible, because everything is possible with God. It started with him. It's going to end with him. There's nothing too hard for God. Just believe it. He said, knock, and the door shall be open. He said, seek, and ye shall find. He said, ask, and she shall be given. You ask, if you ask not, you will receive not. You got to do these things. God has all power in his hands. God showed me that day to this day. You see me, this is me. The doctor tell me to walk with a cane. Look at me. Look at me. This is me after 4 months. When I seen video of people having the same amputation that I have, 6 to 8 months, they walking with a cane and all this other stuff. They ain't moving like this, but this is God. They say, I'm a walking miracle. I said, no, this is just God showing his power to everybody to say, I'm still here. And I'm always going to be here because can't nobody do it like I do it. Can't nobody beat me. And I believe God. And I just want you to know you should believe God for all things. Because there ain't nothing too hard for God. God is my strength and my redeemer. And I tell people every day about the goodness of God and what he can do. He did it back then. He doing it now. He ain't going to forevermore do this thing. Because this is what God do. There's nobody bigger, nobody better, nobody stronger than my God. And he's your God too. What he does for me, he doing for many. And going to continue. That's the only man that I know that can take care of you and everybody else in this world at the same time. They don't have to say, I got confused. Wait a minute. Did I get him today? Or did I forget? That ain't my God. My God got everything in control. And I just want y'all to know, like I said, my pastor, this is his YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? I love my pastor. He preaching the word. He giving you the truth. He said, this is what it is. I want to make sure that y'all know the truth. And if you don't go, it's because of yourself. Because he won't have the blood on his hand. And I thank God for that. Because like I said, everybody ain't preaching the truth. Everybody ain't teaching the truth. And he said, how can you hear without a preacher? How can you be taught without a teacher? I have both there. I have both there at the church that I go to. And my brothers and sisters, like I said, prayer changes things. There is power in prayer. I mean, when I say prayer is power, look at me now. I could have been dead and gone. He raised me up like Lazarus. I was at that door. I couldn't do nothing. I could not walk. That's how much pain I was in. I was so dizzy. I couldn't do anything for myself, but God kept his angels encamped around me. He shut that devil down. When that devil thought he had me, he said, hey, touch not my anointing. I got him. You can't have him. I got him. You stay back. You stay back. You're not going to touch my anointing. You just not going to touch it. I got to work still for him to do. And I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So help me. I'm going to do it. And I just want y'all to know God is real. God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good.